Hello fellow commanders, and welcome back as we continue our journey into cards. And we're going to follow up our previous video. In the last video we did a beginner's deck using the Germans. We made a bit of a blitz deck with the Germans for early gameplay, for early ranks play should I say, with the Americans as their ally. If you want to check that out, please do. But for today we're going to have a look at the British. The British have got a couple of strengths as far as I'm concerned, and one big weakness which I'll explain to you in a moment, especially in the early ranking games. So we're going to get into the game. We're going to make ourselves a British. Now I thought about what to ally them up with, and I've been thinking about it, and I think early in the ranking Japan's quite good to ally up with the British, and I'll tell you why again as I'll go through and put the units into the deck. So for the British, first of all, we'll have a look at the infantry. Now one of the strengths of the British are their guard units. They've got some superb guard units, but that also goes along with their weakness, which is kind of expensive units for attack. They've got some cheap units that are quite good. They've got some cheap units, but they're no good at attack. Their expensive units are good at attacking and getting rid of the enemy, and they're not going to come. You're not going to get most of them until kind of mid-late game when you're getting a lot more points to spend. So that's the weakness and the strength of the British. The other strength I'll explain in a second, but we're going to get all four of these cheapo infantry 5th brigades. Only 2 to bring in and 1 to use. We're going to get all 4. I'm also going to get this engineer regiment, which gives all other friendly units +2 defense. Now I'm not going to get anything else, I don't think. Oh yes, I am. I'm just going to get this guards card. This guards card is quite a good all-rounder. Again, the attack is weak, as I've mentioned. It's a guard card, but it does give adjacent ground units +1/+1, which gives you a little bit more wiggle room as far as attack with your adjacent cards is concerned. So that's that. As far as the artillery concerned, you can get a 25-pounder, but we're going to rely on the strength, one of the strengths of the British, and it's not going to be the artillery. I'm going to tell you what that is in a second. You might have guessed already though. No artillery early in the ranks for the Japanese, unless you've been fortunate enough to turn a card. And it's the same picture with the anti-air. Nothing really for the Japanese or for the British early on in the rankings. Moving on to the tanks. Now again, really nice guard tank, the Churchill. I'm going to get all 3 of those. They are expensive. They cost 5 points and they cost 2 to use. So they're an expensive unit, but they're really good. They're heavy armour as well. They can take an absolute pounding and take a lot of taking down, especially in the early rankings when the enemy aren't going to have a lot of removal cards at their disposal. I might get some Humber Mark IIs, because I haven't really got anything 1-pointer into the deck so far, but we'll come back to that. I might get that. And then we'll have a look at the bombers. Well, we won't have a look at the bombers because there aren't any bombers, again, unless you've been fortunate enough to turn over one in your first few packs that you come across. Fighters though is a different matter, and this is the other strength of the British, and that is they've got some fantastic fighters. They've got 2, the Hurricane Mark I, which is 3 points and 2. They do cost 2 to use, but they only cost 3 to bring in, and they're a blitz, so you can bring them in and use them on the same turn and kind of surprise your enemy a little bit in that way. And then we've got the big guy, the Spitfire, which is going to be your firepower, your big firepower in this particular deck. Now apart from that, there is one other card which is going to be a key card, I think, in this deck, and it's the 0 of the Japanese. Again, it's expensive, but it's got a 4 attack and 3 defense, but the thing about it is it's got ambush. It means it deals its damage before the attacker deals its damage, and if it wins then it doesn't have any effect on the 0. And they cost 5, and they've got 4 ambush, and if you can get one of these in fairly early in the game, it's going to be so difficult to remove. So we're going to get 3 zeros. So we really are an air deck here, and our aircraft is all about our attack is all about our aircraft in this particular deck. Now then, moving on to the order cards, there aren't again any countermeasure cards for either early on in the rankings, unless again you've been fortunate enough to turn one in one of your early packs. So we're going to get some order cards. We're going to get the Desert Rat, deal 2 damage. That's a standard British one you want, and that's a 1-pointer. That gives us an early card that we can use. I'm going to get 2 for the Kings to fight off any tanks that might come in. Not 3, I think 2's enough. I am going to get the convoy cards because we're going to need to turn cards, and just so we've got some a little bit of flexibility in our hand. Apart from that, we shall come back if you want anything else. Japanese though, we want to be utilising the Japanese order cards, definitely. We are going to get this Imperial Order, repair all damage to a unit and give it +1/+1. Now this, I think that's any unit, not a Japanese unit, and again it's a low point card, so we could use that perhaps early on in the game. We're going to get that. Deadly Duty, I'm not going to get that, I don't think. It does look tempting. Destroy a friendly unit, which, so if you get one low on health then you can draw 2 cards, but we're going to be trying to keep our cards alive with their big defenses, so I'm not going to go for that. Don't need prosperity. Tora, I'm going to get 2 of those. Deal 1 damage to all enemies in case there's a build up of enemies, and again it's just another low point card we can use at 2 points. And then I'm going to get 1 honor card, I think. You give your friendly unit +4/+4 and that dies at the end of the turn, and that kind of gives us a little bit of leeway on removing a card if we need to. So we'll have that in there. It'll be a bit of a luck when it comes into our hand, but we're going to have that. Naval Operations, I quite like that as well. Pin all enemy ground units and deal 1 damage. So I think I quite like that. We're going to get a couple of those. That leaves us with excuse me, 3 points for the Japanese. I did get those. Oh, I know what else I want for the Japanese. It's these. I forgot about these. Yes, in the tank section there's type 29 Chihas. These will buff our infantry, including I believe our British infantry. It's quite an okay tank in its own right, but if this friendly infantry attack will give us a little bit more infantry attack for our Brits. So we're going to get 3 of those. That leaves us with a few points to spend on the British. So what should we get? Let's just have a look at the we can see here, look, we've got hardly any low point cards. We have got 8 2-point cards and 12 3-point cards, so mid game we're not going to be too bad, and then we've got those high 5-point cards for mid late game. But we'll go back to the order cards. We need to be able to keep ourselves in the game while we're waiting for our expensive units. So we're just going to have a look at the order cards again. British units get +2 defense. I'm not sure about that. We've already got quite good defense. I could get, let's have a look. Naval power, send an enemy, no. I'm going to get 1 fortification, I think, just in case we need to buff up our HQ while we're waiting for other units. In fact, I'm going to get 2 of those. I'm going to get 2. I don't like using those. I feel they're just too defensive, and you really need to be attacking the enemy's base. But we're going for the long game with this deck, so I'm going to get a couple of those. Apart from that, I'm just thinking what else we can get. We could get some Bolsh regiments. That does actually, yes. I've just thought, instead of getting those HQ, where are they? Yeah, we'll get rid of those HQ units. Where are they? Where have they gone? Those. And I'll tell you why. They give your HQ +7. But if we get some extra Bolsh units, it will give us some extra infantry. We can get 4 of them, and they will give our HQ +2 defense on deployment. So we're going to actually get 4 of those, which brings us up to 25. We can get 3 more. And the reason is we've also got those buff cards from the Japanese as well. So what else? There's not a lot else really, I don't think. In the tank section, we could get a couple. Shall I get some Humbers? I think we're going to rely on those guard regiments coming up early. And then it's really just some more of these guys. What should we get? Send an enemy air unit? No. British units gets +2 defense. That's tempting. I mean, that's tempting to use on the aircraft as well. Should we get some of those? Yeah, we'll get some more 1-pointer of those. That brings us up to the 28. That'll do us. Let's just have a quick check. Yeah, I think that'll do. Let's say, yeah, that's fine. And let's move in and we'll get a game underway. So let's battle. Right. Adrod, he's a Sergeant 1 and he's playing Japanese. Okay, we know a little bit about the Japanese now, don't we? So we've got 2 Hurricanes, 3 Hurricanes, Churchill 4. We won't want that early on. Repair damaged units. We could possibly keep that one. Keep 1 Hurricane as a blitz card. And we've turned a couple of infantry, included a 2 and a 3 pointer, so that's going to help us a little bit. He may... Oh, he's got Russia as an ally, so this is going to be a heavy infantry rush deck, I reckon. We'll have to see. We can get our brigade out next turn, so I reckon he'll take control of the front line quite early on. Brought our Tora card into our hand. Okay. If I was him, I'd take control of the front line as early as I can. Yeah, he's got a rush deck here for sure. Now I have got Tora. If we get rid of that, well, I don't really need to. Let's just get a guard card in nice and early, I think. If he wants to get control of the front line, he can. We'll be playing delay tactics on this one. I've actually got 2 Toras. Oh, we've got an Atika. Do 2 damage to a random enemy unit when that dies. So I think we need to bring our Bolsh regiment out next and give our HQ a bit of a boost as well. So we are definitely going on the defensive and the enemy is definitely going on the attack for this particular one. My problem is going to be if he manages to boost these cards up heavily. That is going to be an issue. I need to start removing them now, I think. Need to start removing these cards for sure before he boosts them. But he's got to get rid of my high defense cards as well, so he's on the attack. Loses 1 of his units. He may attack with that Bolsh regiment because he does get, when that dies, it does get a random 2 kill as well. Oh, it's deal 2 damage to a random, oh yeah, random enemy. Okay. Oh, we've got our convoy. We could flip that over, or we could actually flip that and repair our unit, which is going to give us a lot of cards. So we'll have a lot of choice next turn, or we could do the Tora, get rid of 3 of those cards with 2 Toras. I'm going to do that. Get rid of 3 of these infantry cards. Yeah, I think that's the best choice. And he'll put his other infantry on 1 point as well. Okay, we lost a unit there because we killed 1 of his units, and that meant we lost our guard unit. I didn't actually think about that, but I don't think that's a really bad thing. Let's end our turn. So it's looking a lot better now. Got rid of a few of his infantry units. As he brings out another Akita regiment. Still got 3 points to spend. Right, now then, we could really just bolster our defence here by sticking Churchill 5, or we could actually get rid of another unit. Let's get rid of this card. Just by doing that. Puts us on 3 health. And I'm going to play the convoy now, so we can get ourselves an extra couple of cards. Okay, a For the King and a nice defence card. I'll save that Keep Calm, I think. And I'm going to repair this unit up. Give it an extra attack point as well. Nice, okay. So it's not looking so good for this fella at the moment because he's low on cards and his little rush at the start hasn't quite worked out for him. So what's he got left in his pocket? Ooh, a nice artillery piece is what he's got. So we... I think... Oh, that's guarded as well. Ooh, this isn't good then. That is guarded, so I can't really attack it with my aircraft. So we're going to take 4 damage. Because I ain't got nothing to remove it, I don't think. Right. So, I think... Wow. Right, we need to get rid of that. First of all. And... I'm going to bring a guard card out, see if we can wrestle control of that front line. Now, if he brings his guard card forward, then I can bring planes out and attack that on the back line. Let's see what he does. So, yeah, has a go at my Churchill with his big booming howitzer. Is he going to take control of the front line? I think I would. No, he's gone for a more defensive tactic. Right, so we still need to get rid of this. And I think I need to take control of the front line myself then. And I could move on and use my engineer card. So I'm going to move forward. And then in order to keep these alive, in fact he could still kill my Bolsh regiment, couldn't he? Yeah. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of this guy. Take the attack point off of there. With our For the King. Let's get rid of that tank with For the King. Still leaves us with 2 points. So if I put a guard card up so we can move that forward if necessary. At least we removed one of his cards, but this artillery piece is going to be a bit of a pain until we get rid of it. He'll probably, if I was him, I'd take out my Bolsh regiment probably next, or maybe my... Actually, he could take out my Churchill and then he could take out my Bolsh regiment. I would do that. Get rid of the front line completely. If he does it. No, he's decided to attack my guard card. I don't think that's a good move. Don't think that's the best use of his units there. Right, he's pinned. I'm pinned, and he got rid of... Oh, okay, so that wasn't so bad after all. That's quite nice. All right, okay. Now then, we've got a 0. +2 defense. I don't know what to do here. I could get rid of this Mitre regiment with a hurricane. I might do that. But I also think I should bring out my Spitfire so that we can do some serious damage. I'm going to bring the Spitfire out and I'm going to bring the hurricane out as well. See if we can do some damage in the next turn. See, he's got 1 card in his hand. So he's going to lead with his artillery again. He's either going to take my hurricane down or he's going to remove my guard card. Oh, he's gone for the Spitfire. Okay, well, my Spitfire's still alive, guy, and I've got 5 attack with it. Okay. We might be able to remove this guard card. 5, 6, well, yeah. 2 aircraft attacks, we can get rid of that guard card. We will lose. Oh, hold on. British units get +2 defense. So if I play that before I play my Spitfire will stay alive if I attack that guard card. Cool. So let's attack the guard card. And again, get rid of that. Now we can attack. Unfortunately, we haven't got 5 points. I could have blitzed it with a hurricane. That's a shame. Give all other friendly units +2 defense. That's useful. Or I could do an attack. I'm gonna just boost up my units, I think. Yeah, let's boost up the units. Okay, and I can give British units. Yeah, let's do it again. Nice. Nice. Now he's in trouble. If he can't guard this artillery, he needs to guard this artillery piece somehow because it's going to go down. So he's in trouble now because he can remove one of my cards, but he's going to lose his 1 saving grace card here. So he goes for the Spitfire again. Okay, so let's take out this artillery piece first. Oh, he's still got 5 points. Okay. He ain't got nothing to spend it on though. He can't really take this Churchill out now with these infantry. He's going to have to pass this turn. Yep. Naval operation pin, all going to do 1 damage. Okay, let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of some more. Let's get rid... Oh, I can't get rid of that. I could just attack his base now. Yeah, let's just attack the base. And I'm going to bring in a 0. And I'm going to move... Oh, deal 1 damage to his base, I think. And we'll bring that unit forward, which will be guarded. And in turn. Pin all enemy ground units to 1 damage. It's pinned us all again, but we've still got all our aircraft in play, so we can just sweep through and attack his base. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we've won, I think. I think we've won. Don't think he can do anything. He might surrender here, or he might let me have the victory turn. There's nothing you can do, matey, I'm afraid. You've had it. Just as a swipe at my Churchill. And another one. It's not going to do him any good though. Okay. Don't surrender. End your turn. No, good lad. Okay. So we're just going to finish him off with our fighters. Nice. Okay, superb. Okay, so that's it really. That's the British deck in action. So quite a defensive deck. I don't think he was the best player, probably not played it too much, but if you come up against a good player though with a British deck, you sometimes do struggle because they tend to just overwhelm you early in the game. But that's it for this one, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. If you want to see more cards or more war games, more strategy games, please do consider subscribing to the channel. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, give us a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.